Hey, I'm Sean with the Comics Pals, and we are here live at New York Comic Con 2018. It's Friday, so that means we still have some energy left, but not that much. By Sunday, we'll be zombies. So I'm here standing next to Ed Brisson, the writer of Extermination, writer of Old Man Logan, writer of Iron Fist, writer of The Violent, one of my favorites. How's it going for you, man?
It's going good, really good. Yeah, I got no complaints, Good show, lots of people walking around. Been walking around a little bit myself, checking out the stuff, so it's been pretty good.
So before we dive into all of the big stuff that's been happening for you lately, I always have to take it back to The Violent because I am such a big fan of that work. Are we ever going to get the next volume?
So I feel like I said this last time we talked. We are hopefully doing more Violence. Adam and I are just trying to make our schedules line up. And I'd hoped that it would be by now. So I feel like this is my standard answer. It's like when our schedule's lined up. Right. I do have a lot plans that I would like to do with it. So eventually, but I would say, the earliest I could see it happening would be 2020.
Oh, okay.
Well, that seems like far off to you, but to me that seems like tomorrow because I'm booked up until late 2019. So and then with the production schedule, but that's probably the earliest you would see it.
All right, well then I guess I have to hold my breath until 2020.
Yeah, you might have to. At the soonest.
Oh, goodness.
It might be 2025. Who knows? 10-year anniversary, maybe it'll come out.
What do you think will happen first? Tool putting out a new album or The Violent Volume 2?
Does Tool have a history of not putting out albums?
They haven't put out an album in 14 years.
We'll beat them. I think we'll beat them.
Okay. All right. Good. I'm glad to hear that at least. So you've been working on Old Man Logan. That's been a long process for you. I believe it just wrapped, right?
I'm wrapped.
Okay,
I'm done.
Right.
I think there's 2 more issues to come out.
Okay. What's been the fan response to the return of Old Man Logan, you at the helm of the book? What are the fans kind of saying about this?
It seemed pretty good. Everyone seems to dig it. I think I'm really winding, not winding the character down is a terrible term. I'm really putting that character through the grinder. Yeah. And I think when it was announced that we're ending Old Man Logan and then doing Dead Man Logan, I don't think it was terribly a surprise to anyone that spoiler, he's going to die at the end of Dead Man Logan.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems to be good. I get a lot of positive feedback. But if anyone hates it, they haven't told me. and this is comicdom, so it's very, very possible. But yeah, it's been pretty good. I've been pretty happy. I guess I've been able to work with a variety of artists and do a lot of I think they're really interesting stuff. It's some really bleak stuff too that I'm a little bit surprised I got away with, but very, very happy I did get away with.
I like the character of Old Man Logan because he represents sort of Wolverine at his worst, which is weird because he's been through hell already. Was it kind of fun for you in a way? I mean, that's kind of weird, right? But was it fun for you to sort of continue that trajectory for the character?
Yeah, absolutely. There's something about a character like that in his twilight years that's really interesting to examine and look at, especially one who was maybe the most feared predator, not predator, but feared fighter in the Marvel Universe. To show him falling off and losing his ability and not being as strong, it's been a really interesting trajectory, and to show how that affects all his relationships with other different characters. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been really interesting, and it's fun. The more I torture him, the funner it is for me. I'll be honest. I do enjoy it.
So, I don't know what you guys got from that, but there's something dark inside of you that.
I think I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. This is how I exercise the demons.
Right. So you've been playing in the X-Men sandbox for a while now with Old Man Logan, with Extermination. I actually just was able to catch up on the 3 issues of Extermination that are out, and it's fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. Can you talk a little bit about the process behind you sort of getting to have that book and playing with those characters and what that's been like for you as a lifelong fan?
Yeah, well, that was a really interesting process in that Marvel wanted to have something with the Young X-Men had been here for a while. They wanted to sort of resolve that thread. And it was something that came up at a retreat about how do we do this? And it was funnily, the germ of the story was an Old Man Logan story I wanted to tell. And it was just a thing that we weren't going to tell. But then as we, in the retreat, I threw this out. I'm like, this story I can't tell in Old Man Logan actually possibly works better here. And it's a resolve for the problem that we have. And so I didn't think, I just threw it out, and then I didn't think it was going to happen because this is a big story. I assumed it was going to go to one of the writers who'd been there for much longer. And then I got a call a few weeks later saying, we're going to do this. It's called Extermination now, and this you're going to write it, which is great, nerve-wracking, crazy nerve-wracking. And I had some like really cool big ideas I wanted to do with it that I threw out. And some of them were kind of scary, like ideas, things that we're going to do some status quo changes. But yeah, it's just been a ton of fun. It's having a lot of fun writing that book. Pepe Larraz is just amazing on art, just incredible. Every time he sends a page in, it takes my breath away. Just beautiful.
Yeah, the art has really been standout. I've been so impressed with the way that you've kind of brought the X-Men back into a place where, even though there's a lot of craziness going on, it feels right. And I don't want to the X-Men haven't felt this right for me personally as a fan in a while. So it's weird that to feel right they have to be dying, but it just feels like you've kind of brought them back to a place that feels familiar, and it feels like your trajectory is getting more towards that sort of familiarity.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because I didn't set out to say, hey, let's make the X-Men feel like that. I grew up reading the X-Men. I've been reading the X-Men since the 80s. So I just want to do a really killer X-Men stuff. I wanted to do some really crazy stuff with Cable in it. Yeah. And I just really wanted I really wanted no one to read this book and feel that they knew what was coming or what was going to happen around the corner. Because, there is this idea that in a way how it's going to end. You don't know exactly how it's going to end, but you kind of know what we're doing here. Yeah. So, because we had that thing that was already, that cat's already out of the bag, I guess, I really want to find a way to surprise people, and people seem to be reacting and really enjoying it. Like I said, I'm having a hell of a time writing it, and I've heard that from a few people that it feels like like older X-Men a little bit, which is great. That's great. It's a compliment. I love it. Are
you excited for the future of the brand once Extermination kind of ends and we get Uncanny X-Men? Are you looking forward to where things go?
Yeah, absolutely, because I'm working on 2 of the books, yeah. So I'm super excited about it. But yeah, especially I'm co-writing Uncanny X-Men with Matt and Kelly. We're almost done actually writing the whole 10 issues. So I think that's going to bring it in a very interesting direction that people are not going to expect. And then aside from that, I'm doing X-Force coming up with Dylan Burnett. And we're going to be using, it weirdly was not planned when I started Extermination X-Force, but I did have X-Force in Extermination to go after. I don't know can we spoil stuff? Can you throw a big icon on the thing that just says spoiler?
We can do that.
Okay, perfect. Just spoiler, because Cable dies. And so, X-Force is trying to hunt him down to figure out what's going on. And and that's going to spill over into X-Force, the series. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting. There's some really, really cool stuff that we have planned for X-Force. So the people who are mad that Cable was killed by a younger version of Cable, that to just be rest assured that there's a reason there's a younger version of Cable in this book. And I think we're going to get to see some stuff that we haven't seen before, that I frankly was a little bit surprised. There's a thing I want to do that hadn't been done already. Wow. So I'm pretty excited about it.
You mentioned X-Force and kind of their reaction to the death of Cable. That was one of the moments for me in this book that resonated emotionally, because it's mentioned, I can't remember what character says it, but Cable's kind of like their surrogate father in a way.
Yeah.
And I loved that you kind of pulled that out. I thought that was really awesome. And as a fan of X-Force over many years, getting to kind of see these characters, all grown up and reacting to this death I was like, I can't wait to see what they go and do, because we know X-Force so well.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. That's the thing I love about X-Force is the X-Men are pretty badass, but X-Force will just take it one step further, right? It's a lot of fun. I don't want to reveal anything. That's why we had to delay a couple minutes here. I was actually proofing the next issue.
Oh boy.
I was actually proofing the scene where this all comes to a head, and yeah, it's just really exciting stuff. And it's not everything's going to be resolved with that particular thing in Extermination, because that's something that's going to carry over into X-Force, and I think it's going to be really exciting.
That's absolutely awesome. Do you think that you could give us a small tease for what we can expect in the next issue of Extermination?
Man, I don't know. One of the cool things, and it's like such a small background, not a major detail, but in next you get to see Ahab's ship, which is called the Pequod, which is, clear. It's all. I'm keeping it Moby Dick themed, but the ship is cool as hell. There's some really cool. So number 4, I think people get to see what's really happening and why this is all happening. And I don't know if it's what people are going to expect, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But so that's something you finally get those answers in number 4. But there may be some more bloodshed in number 4. I'm not going to say who.
Oh boy.
People, if people are mad at me about issue 1, I think they're going to be mad at me even more over issue 4. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I can't wait for issue 4. I'm very excited. I want to shift gears just a little bit. You mentioned to me that you have taken an opportunity during your New York Comic-Con stay to check out some record stores.
Yes.
Because you are a big fan of 80s and 90s rap.
Yes.
So what acts, what rappers, what groups are you most fond of from that time period?
Man, I'm all over the place. Like Eric B. Rakim, Run DMC, like Main Source, Black Sheep, the whole Native Tongue, Tribe, and Jungle Brothers, all that sort of stuff. A lot of like the gangster rap from there too. I just picked up a Tim Dog album today, and just like weird stuff. I picked up a UMC's album today, which is like kind of a band that most people seem to have forgotten about. But I was big in Public Enemy and the Boogie Down Productions, all that. So that's what I listened to growing up, and so I always wanted to have my own record player. I never had a record player. We had a record player when I was a kid. That was my parents' that I actually destroyed because I tried scratching records. I didn't know that you needed a special belt for scratching records. So I haven't had a turntable for years. In the last couple of years, but 2 years ago I bought one, and I just upgraded it actually about a month ago. And so, in Canada, we don't get there's not a ton of used hip hop. So when I was in New York, I'm like, I'm just gonna go around the record store, see what used stuff. And there's a wealth of it here. There's really good stuff. So
Can we?
I kind of went off on a tangent there, but it's all good. Yeah.
No, I'm happy you did. Can we expect the Ed Brisson beat mixtape to drop on SoundCloud?
Never. And I've said this before, I am so happy that when I was a teenager, YouTube was not around, because there would be so many videos of me rapping in my bedroom on a $5 microphone that I would never be able to get rid of. Yeah, never will you hear that sort of stuff. But I did drop some I sometimes will drop references into comics. I had Bullseye singing "Sound of the Police," the KRS-One track, which I thought was really funny. I didn't know if I was going to get away with it. I did, but So yeah, no, it's been but no mixtapes, nothing like that.
All right, I think the people might want it.
No, they're not going to get it. Even if they want it, they will never get it. I really badly, when I was younger, wanted to be a rapper, wanted to be an MC, but holy God, no! It's not. I am not built for that. I'm not. It's not a thing.
Fair enough. Although I will say, it's never too late. It's never too late. You can start at any time.
I think it possibly is way too late. I think it's much too late.
Fair enough. So I just want to say congratulations on all your success. Every year things seem to get bigger and bigger for you. I can't wait to see where you're at in 2019, 2020, when hopefully we get the next volume of The Violent. And just keep up the fantastic work. Really appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Awesome. So where can the people find you all over social media?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Ed Brisson. You can find me at my website, which is edbrisson.com. And that's basically it. I am on Facebook, but I've been trying to keep that more to family and friends. So mostly Twitter and my website's where it's at.
Awesome. So make sure to check him out all over the place. While you're doing that, check us out, the Comics Pals. We are here at New York Comic Con 2018, so make sure to check out all of the interviews that we're going to be dropping over the course of the next few days. Make sure to like the video, comment, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. All of that helps us out a ton. And, of course, keep it locked to our YouTube channel. As always, I'm Sean Bartley. We're the Comics Pals. Take care, guys.